Environmental issues. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the importance of renewable energy, explain the effects on the environment caused by the use of various sources to generate electricity, Electricity is essential in daily life. Why are the people having their dinner in the dark?
It's so hot.
Is there a possibility of major power shortages or even no electricity in the future? The consumption of electrical energy has increased tremendously. Electricity has now become a vital necessity in our daily life. Imagine what will happen if we experience major shortage of electricity in the future. Without electricity, much of our lives and activities will not be able to function properly. Hospitals and schools will face major operation problems. Productivity from industries will decrease, resulting in an economic crisis. What are the different energy sources that can generate electricity? There are two types of energy sources. A. Non-renewable source, sources that will eventually run out. B. Renewable source, sources that will not run out. Can you name a few non-renewable and renewable energy sources? Non-renewable energy sources are mainly 1. Fossil fuels such as coal, oil and gas, and 2. Nuclear fuel. At present, most of our energy sources are from non-renewable sources, which have an estimated lifetime of 50 to 100 years or more. One day, these non-renewable sources will be depleted. It is necessary for us to focus our research to alternative sources, such as renewable energy sources. Renewable energy sources that are used in the generation of electricity are 1. Hydro, 2. Wind, 3. Tidal wave, 4. Biomass, and 5. Solar. All these power sources are renewable energy sources, which are gaining popularity because they are clean energy sources. Among these, the hydropower is the most widely used energy source. What are the advantages of renewable energy sources? The advantages of renewable energy sources are 1. Sources of energy that do not run out. 2. Reduction of pollution to the environment. 3. Creation of a new energy industry that will provide more people. 4. Cheaper methods of generation, particularly in biomass and portable wind power generators. 5. Less management problems because there are no waste products in wave and wind power generators. Do you think renewable energy sources can help us minimize power shortages in the future? Why? Yes, renewable energy will provide us the sustainable and cheap energy source needed in the near future and enable us to enjoy a quality of life at home, at work, and a much cleaner environment. Click on the Start button to start the turbine. Nowadays, electricity is generated from many different sources. For example, a thermal power station uses fossil fuel, such as coal, oil, or natural gas and biomass. The burning of these fuels produces high-pressured steam to generate electricity. What will happen when these fuels are used in electricity generation? Oil, coal, and natural gas are non-renewable energy sources. Burning these fuels can cause pollution to the environment. How does the burning of these fuels cause pollution to the environment? Effects on the environment are 1. Air pollution. 1. Burning of fuels such as oil, coal, and natural gas produces smoke, dust, and toxic gases such as sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide, which pollutes the air. 2. Air pollution directly causes haze and smog, which causes health problems and decreases visibility. 3. Air pollution also leads to acid rain, which destroys plantations, forests, and buildings. 4. Air pollution in the form of greenhouse gases are major contributors towards global warming. Two. Global warming. 1. Excessive carbon dioxide in the atmosphere causes the greenhouse effects, which leads to global temperature increase. 2. Global warming causes irregular climate changes, such as hurricanes, cyclones, and floods. 3. Major changes in the global climate will kill crops and disrupt food production, causing massive famine, shortage of food. 3. Acid rain. 1. Acidic gases such as sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide dissolve in water in the atmosphere to form acids that mix with rainwater and create acid rain. The presence of sulfuric acid in acid rain has an adverse effect on the equilibrium of the Earth's ecosystem. 2. Acid rain increases the acidity of soil and kills the microbes that provide nutrients for plants. 3. In the lakes, billions of planktons die because of increase in acidity at the water surface. The same effect can also be seen in the rivers, where fish eggs on the surface are unable to hatch. 4. Acid rain also kills trees and crops by slowly destroying the leaves and branches. 5. Sulfuric acid in acid rain can cause corrosion on buildings, bridges, and statues. Click on the Start button to start the turbine. Another non-renewable energy source is nuclear energy. In a nuclear reactor, the fission of uranium atoms is carried out at a controlled rate. Heat energy released in the fission process is used to heat water to produce high-pressured steam to turn the steam turbine. This process generates electricity in a nuclear power station. the generation of electricity using nuclear energy also has a negative effect on the environment. 1. Radioactive waste and health problems. Used fuel rods from a nuclear reactor cannot be carelessly stored. Carelessness can lead to radioactive leakage and contamination of the environment. Exposure to radioactive substances can cause mutation and cancer in living things. Radioactive waste from nuclear power plants is therefore handled in several ways. 1. The rods have to be buried underground inside thick concrete holding vaults to stop radiation and leakage. 2. The spent fuel rods can also be recycled to retrieve the remaining fuel or used for other less dangerous purposes, but this is a very expensive process. Two, thermal pollution. The hot water discharged from the nuclear reactor causes thermal pollution, which increases the temperature of the surroundings. This may kill plants and animals. 3. High cost of building and maintenance. The cost of constructing a nuclear reactor is very high because of the technology which needs to be acquired and the necessary human resources to manage the facility. What will happen if there is a major nuclear accident at the power plant? The accident risk at nuclear power plants is high. The nuclear reaction can get out of control, causing a nuclear meltdown, where the fuel rods will actually heat up and cause the plant to explode. The Chernobyl nuclear accident happened because of an uncontrolled nuclear reaction. An accident at a nuclear power plant can release dangerous radioactive gases to the air and also pollute natural water sources. Short-term effects include death and serious injuries. Long-term effects are cancer and mutation in humans and animals. One day, the non-renewable energy sources will run out. The rapid growth of world population and high demand of energy in industries need continuous supply of energy. One alternative is using the renewable energy sources. One example of the renewable energy source used to generate electricity is hydropower. Click on the Start button. The hydropower station uses the kinetic energy of falling water to produce electrical energy. Water is stored behind a high dam wall. When water is released downhill through the turbines, electricity is generated. Potential energy of water changes into kinetic energy as water turns the turbines. Generation of electrical energy using hydropower is clean and does not cause pollution. What are the advantages of using water as a source of electricity to the environment? 1. Irrigation system. As water is available in large quantities in the dam, it can be used to irrigate farms and paddy fields. Clean water is an asset to the environment, as it does not pollute the environment. Two, oasis of clean, healthy environment. Large bodies of water, such as lakes and dams, helps to sustain aquatic creatures like fish and also promote growth of shrubs and trees. This will provide clean air for the environment and also cools down the surrounding temperature. What are the disadvantages of hydroelectric power generators? Even though hydropower is a renewable energy source, the method of generation and building the plant can cause serious effects to the environment. Building a hydropower plant needs a large area of forest or trees to be cut down. This is to accommodate the large dam and also construction area. Once the dam is in use, a large area will be flooded behind the dam wall. This causes more forest area and also natural habitats of animals to be destroyed. Furthermore, during floods and storms, dams may overflow and destroy villages and towns. Another renewable source for energy is the wind power. A wind turbine consists of 2 or 3 blades connected to the rotor of an electrical generator. When the wind rotates the blades, the coil in the generator also rotates and electricity is generated. Click on the Start button to rotate the blades. Does the production of electricity using wind power have any effect on the environment? Generation of electricity using wind power is clean and therefore does not cause pollution to the environment. Are there any disadvantages in using wind power to generate electricity? Wind power depends heavily on wind current, and the wind farms must be built at places where there is continuous and high wind current. The construction of wind farms utilizes concrete and metal and clears a large area of land. One of the more serious disadvantages of wind power from the economic perspective is that the initial cost to build the plant is expensive. The efficiency of a wind farm is also lower when compared to other sources of cheaper renewable energy. More than 30 countries around the world use wind farms to contribute to their power generation. Can you name some of these countries? Germany, Spain, USA, India, Denmark, and China have giant wind farms capable of generating high capacity of electricity. Germany alone generates over 18,000 megawatts of electricity from wind farms in a year. A total of 75,000 megawatts of electricity generated around the world in 2006 came from wind power. Another renewable source for electricity is the solar power. Click on the Start button to start the generator. What is solar power? Solar power is the energy from the sun that can be converted into electrical energy by 2 methods. 1. Solar furnace. A solar thermal power station has a large parabolic mirror to focus the sun rays to a solar furnace. The heat energy is used to heat water to produce steam. The kinetic energy of the produced steam is used to drive the turbine of an electrical generator. 2. Solar cells, photocells. A solar cell consists of a semiconductor material such as silicon, which is able to convert light energy to electrical energy. The light energy releases electrons from the silicon atoms. The free electrons flow in the material, and electricity is produced. Do you know the use of solar cells in our daily lives? Solar cells are largely used in wristwatches, street lamps, and calculators. More complex photocells are used in satellites. What are the effects of solar power to the environment? Solar power is abundantly available. It is clean and does not pollute the environment. Since the raw material is free, the cost of electricity from solar power is only to cover the cost of building the plant. Hence, in the long term, the cost will stay low or may even reduce. Do you know that the world's largest power plants are the solar energy generating systems, SEGS, power plants located in the Mojave Desert in the USA? The SEGS plants have 400,000 mirrors covering 1,000 acres of land, producing a total of 354 megawatts of electricity. Identify the different sources of energy and classify them into renewable and non-renewable energy sources. Drag and drop the correct answers into the appropriate spaces provided.